injury. Here's Law pulling and missing for the baseline. Now the first go on offense for the Spartans.
As you know, Michigan State likes to push. They want that early offense. How quickly they can get up the floor, try to score before Northwestern's D can get set.
Well, that's a pretty easy look. Nick Ward for two.
That's a nice back screen to free up Nick Ward and lack of defensive communication by Northwestern.
Ward averaging 14 a game, but 25 and 22 in his last two contests. Gets the first bucket here tonight. And a foul on the wing is going to go against Josh Langford.
Number 1, Langford.
Let's take a look at Nick Ward, and you want to get the big fella started. Well, Josh Langford, nice back screen. Bryant McIntosh has to help on that, at least bump Ward. So Benson can get around and try to defend that alley-oop.
Lindsey over to Law on the wing. And back up top to Benson. That's beyond his range. He'll defer back to Scotty Lindsey.
You see Lindsey's drawing quite a bit of attention whenever he has the basketball. Michigan State very aware of his scoring prowess.
31 against Penn State. Late in the shot clock, McIntosh. Too strong with the right hand. Cassius Winston inside. Van Dyke.
I'm telling you, Cassius Winston has a special feel for the game. Only a freshman. I said this last time. I think he's got some Sherman Douglas in him. And I mean, that's high praise.
That's high praise indeed. 6 assists a game. We mentioned it a few moments ago. Best of the Big Ten for number 5 in white, who's defending McIntosh with the ball right now. 8 to shoot. Backdoor pass, and a nice reverse with a left hand by Vic Law.
A great cut by Law behind the defense. Michigan State, rightfully so, paying attention to McIntosh.
How about Winston? He can't just dish it, he can shoot it.
I think these freshmen, when they went on the road and got that overtime victory, watching those seniors lead the way, they learned something quickly. Now they're back in friendly confines. Freshmen usually play a lot better at home.
Just the tip three, and now the other direction. The steal of the slam. Ward with the emphatic finish, and Chris Collins wants an early timeout.
Well, this is the energy that you're used to seeing from Michigan State. Getting the passing lanes, make it tough on the defensive end, and push the rock up. Great job. That's a scouting report steal, and the big fella gets rewarded at the other end.
Well, Michigan State 4 of 4 from the floor, and number 44 with an emphatic dunk that made it 9-2.
Northwestern, the more veteran ball club, not starting this game like it. Let's see if they can settle down, find some rhythm on this end of the floor.
Well, Tuesday at Penn State, they came out and just punched the Nittany Lions in the mouth. Now they're being punched here first, and that's a turnover on the travel.
There's not a lot of space to roam. Michigan State making them uncomfortable on the offensive end, doing a great job defensively to start this game.
I guess that is the good news if you're Chris Collins. You've got a redshirt senior, a couple of juniors, a redshirt sophomore, so you have a lot of experience. They're battle-tested.
Yeah, they're battle-tested, and they're hungry because they've not had success here.
There is one of the veterans, McIntosh, with a steal up ahead. Lindsey with a lob and a foul. Law tried to slam it, but he was hit on the wrist by Matt Van Dyke.
Was a quick turn of events where you get the turnover. Scotty Lindsey with his head up. Vic Law trying to go upstairs. Pretty good play by Van Dyke to get back and break that up.
So Vic Law, redshirt sophomore who missed all of last year with a shoulder injury. Hits the first to 2. He's a 65% shooter at the stripe.
Well, the Spartans checking in. There, number 11.
Well, you got to know that this Northwestern team, that group of Lindsey, Law, McIntosh, Skelly, they have not tasted success here. They've had some tough games. And believe me, when you haven't won on the road in the Big Ten at a venue, that's extra motivation.
We've got a whistle on the rebound, and the ball will belong to Michigan State. Wasn't a foul. Sanjay Lumpkin was just standing on the in line when he caught it.
So that play by Van Dyke to break up that obvious dunk for Law. Law misses one of the free throws. I'm telling you, those plays, they make a difference down the stretch, even though it's at the beginning of the ball game.
And a foul inside. Gavin Skelly, who just came into the game. 6'8" junior, who is tonight's Motel 6 man, picks up the foul, and he deserves that honor. No question. His numbers bear that out, and this is a young man who, when he plays the 5 position, Northwestern's awfully quick. And he's a lot quicker than the bigs in this conference, and so when he goes at the 5 position, that gives Northwestern an advantage. Will be interesting to see tonight with Derek Harden out for Northwestern with the injury. They're down a big man essentially as Harris misses the 3, and having to tango inside with Nick Ward could be trouble. Yeah, and I think that's why they're going to platoon those 2 guys quite a bit here early in the game. Talking about Skelly and Benson. And how much do you double Nick Ward? I mean, he's on the bench right now, but when he's out there, that's a guy that you always have to have 2 eyes on, don't you? You do, and you want to double team him. You want to help off the strong side guard to dig in on the post to bother his action, but you got to not allow him to get established on that low post because he is dangerous. And right now getting a seat late in the shot clock here. Ellis going to work. A career-high 20 at Minnesota, and he gets 2 there off the window. No, and that's a shot that I'm not sure would have gone down had he not had success in the last game. Showed his strength right there, put his shoulder in the Law and created that space. Not only did he have 20 against the Gophers, hit the game-winning free throws as that rolls around and off. The iron unkind to Scott Lindsey. Lindsey's got to take that shot. McIntosh has been struggling with his shot. Looks like Law's having a difficult time freeing himself up, so somebody for Northwestern has to step up and be aggressive on the offensive end. Wildcats 1 of 6 from the floor, 5 of 6 for Michigan State. Tum Nairn controls the point. Gets a ball screen to Van Dyke. 2 to shoot. Van Dyke almost bailed himself out, but too strong. Yeah, he's got to understand he's got to be a threat out there once he gets the basketball. Almost cost his team a possession. Skelly, extra pass to Sanjay Lumpkin. And they're still cold. That will help Northwestern, though, when Sanjay Lumpkin is at least looking at the basket. Curling a pass, a blocking foul is called as Harris was starting to get out of control. So Michigan State starting out hot, leading it 11-3. Tom Izzo hoping to get his 10th win tonight. After Michigan State's win at Minnesota, a little surprise. Dorothy Izzo, Tom's mother, 90 years old, makes an appearance in the locker room to celebrate. And it's great that the players respond in that way. And I need to know what she's doing. She looks great, doesn't she? 90? Yeah, she doesn't look 90 to me. Not at all. But that was special. Coach was glowing after the game in his post-game remarks. And what an emotional win. Minnesota's a very good team this year, much improved, and that was a gritty second half that Michigan State played. Yeah, I call that a program victory. The name on the front of the jersey got them that win from being in this program of toughness, togetherness, and knowing how to win on the road. Now they're back at home, Northwestern, 4 of their first 5 Big Ten games on the road, including obviously the first 2. And that's going to be offensive against the Wildcats. Call that on Barrett Benson. So we talked about their bigs getting in foul trouble. Benson now has 1. Gavin Skelly before the timeout picked up his 2nd. Chris Collins didn't like that call, but I think if you're Scotty Lindsey, you've got to let the big get set. Benson wasn't quite set. Scotty Lindsey went into his move. That's on the guard. That's not on Benson. But the whistle against the freshman big man Benson. And now Michigan State looks to expand on this 8-point advantage. Arns, shot fake. Offensive foul. Well, that's a gutsy play by Benson because he could have picked up his 2nd foul there, but good job defensively reacting right on time. Good job right there. No question about it. He establishes
himself. Ayers did the right thing trying to get to the rim, but better defense.
Northwestern, their only field goal came at the 17:45 mark, and Taphorn changes that right on cue.
This is the difference in this Northwestern ball club. They've got some depth. Isaiah Brown in for McIntosh right now, and Taphorn hitting that three.
Taphorn, that's what he does. 40 of his 49 shots from three this year. However, on the next possession, Lindsey with a wild pass.
And Coach Collins is trying to get him to relax. That with his hands pushing down like, fellas, relax. And they're still in great shape because they were ice cold there starting the game 1 of 7, only down 5.
But boy, Chris Collins was effusive in praising his team of shoot-around with us today, wasn't he?
Yes, he was, and as well he should be, because these guys have been through some Big Ten tussles, and they've been on the losing end more times than not. And a lot of times, either guys that go south or they get tough. It looks like this Northwestern team has gotten tough. 9-game winning streak, longest in the Big Ten right now.
And how about them having won 19 straight games in December, if you combine it over the last 3 seasons? So a Northwestern program that no doubt is headed in the right direction. By the way, Kyle Orange just picked up his 2nd foul for Michigan State, so he went to the bench. And speaking of fouls, here's another, and now the booze raining down at Breslin.
Well, that was a nasty collision between Lindsey and Nick Ward. They got tangled up pretty well there. Glad nobody's arms got above their shoulders, because that was had the potential to be a little bit ugly there. Watch the two right here. That's just good old-fashioned Big Ten basketball.
The foul actually went against number 20, Matt McQuaid. And now an offensive foul against Northwestern. So these officials, you mentioned it's a very veteran crew. Terry Weimer, Terry Oglesby, Bo Borowski. They are making sure their presence is felt early on.
Yeah, because it seemed like it's going to be a typical Big Ten game. Going to let them play a little bit. But here in the last 3 minutes, they've really tightened up the whistles.
5 fouls on the Spartans, 4 on Northwestern. Into Ward. Dangerous pass, but it does find Harris. Elvis, catch and shoot. Yes!
Just takes one game, Brandon, to get that confidence up. It's a young man that is tough. He can rebound. He doesn't mind defending. He can shoot the 3.
So he has 5 points as there's another whistle, but Ellis averaging 5 a game. He already has that here. Nick Ward picking up his first.
Well, Northwestern right here trying to defend, and Nate Taphorn, you can't really do anything else. Great position. You know, he contested the jumper, but Ellis playing as well as he's played in his whole career here.
Law driving out of control, and they're just going to call that a clean turnover. No foul.
Chris Collins wanting Law to pass the ball in the wing. Looked like Brown's defender came and double teamed. Hadn't seen Michigan State press like this.
Northwestern averages less than 11 turnovers a game, but Northwestern, they already have 6 right now.
Yeah, I meant to say Northwestern pressing right now. McIntosh back in the game, more than likely settle them down on the offensive end.
Ward, block extended. Langford, late shot clock. Off the mark. Law skying for it.
That's a big-time rebound out of space by Vic Law.
He averages just under 6 rebounds a game, 2nd on the team. Here's the young freshman, Brown. And he gets hacked on his way to the rim. Well, both head coaches, they know what this game means. It's Big Ten Conference play. Tom Izzo, Chris Collins doing battle.
Nebraska going to Indiana and winning, and Maryland, the way they won in impressive fashion against Illinois, that's going to be a great game to kick off that slate.
And a game like that kind of puts everybody on notice at the start of conference play, doesn't it?
It makes everybody on it puts everybody on notice, but it gets teams excited as well, because now if Indiana can be beaten at home, that by Nebraska rather, that gives everyone a little bit more confidence.
Isaiah Brown misses the front end as Michigan State now has 7 fouls. Brown an 80% shooter, but he dropped a little bit there. Ward outside of his comfort zone. Cassius Winston hit a three earlier. This time bounces down to Ellis. High arcing fade won't drop. In a battle for the rebound, it goes out to the Wildcats.
Wildcats doing a pretty good job of keeping Michigan State to one shot opportunity. Michigan State historically one of the better rebounding teams in the nation. Northwestern doing a good job of battling on the glass right now.
Well, Coach Izzo wasn't overly pleased with their efforts at Minnesota in that department. They were -7 on the glass. Offensive rebound inside. Barrett Benson can't get the chippy to go.
Jordan Murphy of Minnesota, 21 rebounds. He was a man-child in that one.
Reverse for Nick Ward.
Tell you, Nick Ward, he's still getting used to his new frame. But he's got an old school motor. I love it.
He is going to be fun to watch as he continues to develop. This time in the paint, no good from 12 feet for Scotty Lindsey. Tum-Tum Nairn over to Winston. To Ellis. You said it, partner. Last game got him going. All of a sudden, he has 7 here in the first half.
He's playing with a lot of swagger right now. He's been around the block a few times. He understands the expectation. And there's a sense of urgency with seniors in the Big Ten.
McIntosh from the elbow. That won't drop. Northwestern is just 2 of 12 from the floor. Winston, catch and release. Timeout, Northwestern.
Michigan State loves the early offense. Cassius Winston loves the corner pocket three.
He's got 2 of them. Michigan State up 15. The faces in the I-Zone, they're liking what they see. They're a little older tonight. It's alumni night in the I-Zone with the students on holiday break, but what a start for the Spartans.
Well, they fed off this energy. This is the best crowd that Michigan State has had this season, and they needed it against Northwestern. They're taking advantage, jumping them early and often.
Northwestern, their season low for field goals in the first half is 8, and right now they're just 2 of 12. But still 9:15 to play in the first 20.
Northwestern can get one of their big three. Lindsey, McIntosh, or Lawler can get one down. They'll feel better.
Skelly misses it from the top of the arc. Spartan ball.
You just can't say enough about Michigan State's defensive presence here to start the game. They're scrambling, they're talking, they're helping each other defensively. Not a lot of room here for Northwestern to operate.
Interesting. Chris Collins said shoot-around told us, you know, I don't really agree that coaches just sit a guy with 2 fouls in the first half, but Skelly has 2 right now. He said, if I've got a guy that needs to play, I'm going to play him with 2 fouls, and he's out there.
And there's different philosophies on that. I'm a guy where my coach, Lou Henson, if you got 2 fouls in the first half, buddy, you were on the bench.
Langford on the curl from the elbow.
Coach Stevens, Associate Head Coach Stevens of Michigan State, talked about Langford really coming into his own, overcoming an injury. Now he's really feeling good about himself. 3 freshmen playing at a high level for Michigan State.
There's what they needed. Scotty Lindsey, 31 against Penn State. He gets 1 to drop.
Scotty Lindsey wouldn't have done that last year. He would not have stepped up with that type of confidence and quieted the crowd. But that's what Northwestern needed. Just need one to drop, get settled on defense, and try to work their way back into this game.
He was 0-3 prior to that bucket. He's a 42% three-point shooter, is Scotty Lindsey. Speaking of threes. Tum-Tum Nair. All of a sudden, he's turned into a marksman. He had a couple big ones at Minnesota.
He sure did. And he stepped up in that one with a lot of confidence as well. Got to watch Cassius Winston bleeding from the mouth a little bit. I don't know if he took an elbow.
Yeah, he is indeed. He gives the ball up there, up top to Ellis. He's licking his lips, trying to get the blood removed as Winston.
He's just got such a great feel at such a young age for the game.
Winston to the corner and right back to him, 6 to shoot. He's going to go to work. He just flew by Gavin Skelly.
He knew Skelly had 2 fouls. Go right at the big, try to draw the 3rd foul or get to the rim.
28 to 9. Pass inside deflected, but Vic Law tracks it down and finds Lindsay. So 2 threes now for Scotty Lindsay after 3 straight misses to start the game.
And Sanjay Lumpkin's got to give a better pass to Vic Law. If that's on the money, Vic Law is one-on-one underneath the bucket with Cassius Winston. He's going to win that every time.
As they chant, "Let's go State" here at the Breslin Center. But Scotty Lindsay with a steal. How about the defense, though, by Cassius Winston? Winston and the fans thought that it should be Spartan ball, but it will not be. Tum Tum there, the little engine that could. He's got him fired up in East Lansing. The state of Michigan going to be featured on Super Wednesday next week. First, the Spartans host a much-improved Rutgers team. Then Penn State travels to Ann Arbor to take on the Wolverines. Coverage starting at 6:30 Eastern. Presented by Buffalo Wild Wings on BTN and BTN To Go. Miles Bridges, for the first time since his injury to the ankle, he's back in uniform. Not expecting to see him tonight, however.
Yeah, he doesn't appear like he's going to play tonight, but definitely next week. Saw him working out. Looks like he's really close to returning, but he's got to love what he's seeing right now from his team.
He was the first one at shoot-around today, getting a workout in, and we asked him, how anxious are you to get back out there? Words can't describe it.
Yeah.
You know he wants to go.
Oh, he's chomping at the bit. He's such a good young man. I mean, mannerable, looks you in the eye. Great energy about that young man. And for him to be as talented as he is, that's a rare combination.
If they look like this now, imagine when they get him back if they start rounding into form as they appear to be. Scotty Lindsay with another steal. Takes it into the chest of Winston, and he swiped it away, but it falls to Taphorn.
Winston's got some quick hands. He's got a great feel for the basketball.
He's a guy you never want to be guarded by.
No.
He's just a pest.
I mean, he's guarding Vic Law right now. If I'm Vic Law, I try to get into the post.
Taphorn gets to the rim. That's not normally his specialty, but a good move.
Yeah, Taphorn, he got that first 3 to go. So he's feeling pretty good about himself. Guy that's kind of been in and out of the lineup, but with the absence of Aaron Falzone, he knows the type of minutes that he's going to get every game.
Northwestern has 6 field goals, 4 of them threes, now 2 two-pointers. A double team comes and a foul. Let's get another look at Mr. Winston on the defensive end.
Well, just quick, watch him anticipate. Gets his body in front, slaps down on the basketball. Just an uncanny ability on both ends of the floor. And he was 28 on his ACT, Magnum Cum Laude at University of Detroit Jesuit High School. I mean, he's a total package.
Got accepted to Harvard, had the option to go there and play for Tommy Amaker, but instead decided to play for Tom Izzo. And you just saw it pop on your screen, but Gavin Skelly now has 3 personal fouls for the Wildcats.
That's a tough break for Northwestern.
So that brings Benson, the big man in the middle in purple, number 25, who's guarding Ward, off the bench. Van Dyke in no man's land finds a cutting Ellis, and he collides with the aforementioned Barrett Benson. And if that's on him, which I believe it is, that's 2.
A lot of times when you have young bigs, you just have to get away sometimes. Sometimes you have to let the guys go. It's very difficult to do, but there's no way that he can get in position to draw the contact. If you can't go for the block, you got to let that go.
So 2 on Benson, 3 on Skelly. And Coach Collins told us he was worried about picking up fouls in the post against Nick Ward. And that's rearing its ugly head in the first half.
Well, when Michigan State can play at the pace that you're seeing fast, tough. They cut through. It just puts so much pressure on the defense. Kind of puts you back on your heels.
Ellis hit the 2 game-winning free throws at Minnesota. Hits both there. He has 9. And Dane Fife mentioned to us about Ellis. He said, you know, we told him, we need you at first to be invisible out there. Don't make mistakes. The scoring will come, and it's starting to come for him.
That's right. A lot of players are scoring dominant. Oh, wow.
Tum Nairn with a beautiful assist to Nick Ward. Scoring right now is coming from all angles for Michigan State, and an offensive foul on Taphorn.
You see, Northwestern trying to play at this pace. It doesn't seem to benefit them. Tum Nairn just pushing hard, rewarding the big fella. And that's great concentration by Nick Ward.
I think Ward was saying, hey, where's the N1? I'd like a trip to the line, please, for that.
Yeah.
How about those fast break points?
Well, and that's what you have to guard against anytime you play the Spartans. And Cassius Winston can push the rock, but Tum Nairn is even quicker.
Ellis, boy, he's hunting his shot. Offensive rebound. Oh, Ward lost it in his left hand going up.
That's where he'll get better, putting it in his right on the right-hand side.
Vic Law to the rim, yes, through the contact.
Northwestern is starting to get a little rhythm on the offensive end.
Vic Law has 8, averages just under 14 a game. But he's been struggling the last 4 games, 11 of 35 from the field coming into this one, but 3 of 4 tonight.
Chris Collins trying to work Terry Weimer. Oh, he called a double foul.
Yeah, Bo Borowski indeed whistled a foul on each side there. Tom Izzo disagrees. Chris Collins probably disagrees as well. 32-19, the Spartans jumping on Northwestern here in the first half with 3:13 to play. Nick Ward 8 points, Alvin Ellis 9, but Ward 4 of 5 from the floor. And then on the side of Northwestern, foul trouble really starting to become an issue because Skelly has 3, and before the timeout, Barrett Benson, the other big man, picked up his 3rd.
Yeah, and he got baited into that a little bit. Nick Ward showing some savviness, was bumping him. They were talking, and Barrett Benson fell for it, and they both got called for a double foul. So Benson definitely gets the short end of that exchange.
So what do you do if you're Northwestern defensively now with both bigs saddled with 3?
You know, right now with Nick Ward out of the game, you can still go man-to-man because Goins is the tallest player on Michigan State on the floor right now at 6'6".
Aaron misses the 3, and then a travel on the rebound by Matt Van Dyke. By the way, if you were wondering why the shot clock was still at 7 after the foul, it's because it was a double foul, so it never reset.
Boborowski doing a good job of coming over and explaining that to us. We told you that we had a veteran officiating crew.
Yeah, he and Terry Weimer and Terry Oglesby, they've seen a lot of battles. Nice shot in the corner. Taphorn starting to heat up. He has 8.
So Michigan State now, after a horrible start, really settling down in spite of the foul trouble, in spite of 7 turnovers.
There's 6 turnovers now for Michigan State. Up ahead, Lindsey. He can't finish off the glass. Tum over to Ellis. And he will head to the line.
Well, Scotty Lindsey's got to finish that. It's a crucial exchange. You're on the road. See right there, Ellis trying to go up. Wow. McIntosh looked pretty good position. Could have been moving a little bit, though. Good job by Ellis putting pressure on the defense, getting to the rim as quickly as possible.
He was close to that restricted area, but looked like he was a little outside of it. Something that will be interesting to track, by the way, in Big Ten play now. The officials have the ability, with inside of 2 minutes of the second half or in overtime, to review block charge calls around that cylinder area. So not here, but in the second half of a close game, that's something that they could go to the monitor for.
For sure. And just another layer that makes the job so difficult. I got the most respect for these guys.
Stay tuned for analysis, predictions, and more on the State Farm halftime report. My call, John Crispin, standing by in studio.
Sanjay Lumpkin missed Taphorn on a backdoor cut.
Vic Law, however, taking matters into his own hands.
Wow, 2 defenders come and guard Law, and he leaves standing up, and the 2 defenders are on the floor. Showing you Vic Law might be long and lanky, but he is strong. Good job keeping his eyes on the rim. He takes the hit. Look at his eyes. Still on the rim, able to finish, and let Michigan State know about it, too.
They whistled that on number 25, Kenny Goins. Probably could have called it on Harris. But it was on Kenny Goins, his first. 33-24 as we approach 2 minutes of the first half.
I told our viewers this is going to be a heck of a ball game. Northwestern clawing their way back.
Michigan State's biggest lead was 19. Nair bouncing, then flipping to the corner. Langford can't get it, foul on the rebound, and that's against Taphorn of Northwestern.
Boy, Tum Nair did a really good job as the shot clock's running down. Did enough to draw the defense. He had Vic Law turn around. Was able to hit Langford in the corner to get him a good look. That's a subtle play, but that's a heads-up play by their leader, Tum Nair.
And Stephen Taphorn, who they're asking to play a little bigger than he actually is right now, just picked up his second foul. So things in the foul department certainly favoring Michigan State as Ellis misses the front end. But there should be 2 shots. That should be a double bonus situation, and now they collect everybody and they'll give them another free throw.
Yeah, the alumni Izzo zone is letting them have it. I love it.
Yeah, if you're wondering why the faces look a little more weathered, it's because the youngsters are on holiday break. Ellis hits the second.
So he said it might have been some libation before the game, huh?
Are those a couple of Mike Ditka impersonators over there, by the way? There's a turnover by the Wildcats. And a scrum on the floor. The possession arrow is with the Spartans.
That's a help ball. Possession arrow to Michigan State.
Right? Those are a couple of Mike Ditka guys, aren't they? With that's off the old Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah, with the mustache and the skirts there and the rocking the hats. That's a good look, man.
I have to say, my man on the right looks nothing like Mike Ditka. but kudos for the effort. Yeah. We'll give you a B+ for the effort.
And the skirts.
Joshua Langford off to Harris, and Harris gets bumped, so that's going to send him to the line as Vic Law, sound like a broken record, picks up his second personal.
And at some point, the players have to adjust to the way the game is being called. It's going to be tight. You can't get into guys defensively. You got to give them some space and try to move your feet if you want to stay in this game. Aaron Harris, a young man that's been struggling a little bit on the offensive end. I know they look to him to be the main offensive threat.
Stay tuned. State Farm halftime report coming up. Analysis, predictions, much more with Mike Hall and John Crispin. Law sits. Yeah, Aaron Harris just been so up and down. One game he'll get 16. The next game he'll just get 2.
And he's a young man that he started West Virginia. He's come here, the Indianapolis native, coming back to Big Ten country. A lot of big things expected of him this season.
Those are his first points at the line. Taphorn shot fake, dishing out. Lindsay will release and hit. So Scotty Lindsay, he's hit 3 from downtown.
He and Taphorn have a nice chemistry together on the court. Seem to work well together. Space. Both of them that time dominated the possession.
Northwestern made 11 threes in the win over Penn State. They've hit 6 here in the first half. Jump pass to the corner. Tum Nair thought about shooting it, but did not.
Good job by Isaiah Brown coming under control.
Harris can't get it to drop. Michigan State, their last field goal came at the 4:14 mark. Get a bucket here, this would be a big close to the half for Northwestern.
Oh, if they could go into the halftime break under double digits, that's a moral victory. I know they don't want those, but psychologically that gives them a lot of momentum coming to the second half.
McIntosh taking some ball out of the air near the timeline. He wants to do this himself. And he buries it from the top of the arc. So Michigan State was up 19 with a little over 7 minutes to go, and Northwestern closes that to 36-29.
Great poise by the Northwestern Wildcats. You see right there, McIntosh rocks Goins to sleep, gets to where he wants to on the court, and drains a big-time jumper when he's been struggling. Hasn't hit a three this game.
So the State Farm halftime report is coming up. An entertaining first 20 from East Lansing. 7-point lead for the Spartans.
When you talk about Davis, Gavin Schilling out. Two bigs that Michigan State was counting on, in addition to Miles Bridges being out. Michigan State doing an outstanding job in their absence.
That's a good point, though. I think that's gotten lost in the Miles Bridges shuffle. Yes. Those are two big pieces to the puzzle.
Two big pieces that are veteran players. Sanjay Lumpkin hitting threes. Northwestern's in good shape.
Lumpkin just his 8th three-pointer of the season, and Northwestern is now 7-13 from long range.
Yeah, so the long ball is paying off dividends for them. Michigan State doing a good job of cutting down dribble penetration, but you have to give something up. Either dribble penetration or the long ball.
Both teams 1-0 in Big Ten play. Northwestern got up big on Penn State on Tuesday and cruised to an 87-77 win. Michigan State had to battle into overtime and come from behind fashion. Big thanks to that man right there, Nick Ward. He had 22 in that game, but he couldn't get that one to drop.
Benson did an excellent job of still defending without fouling, making Ward finish around the rim.
You talked about it, but keep your eye on Benson and Gavin Skelly when he comes in the game for Northwestern, both with 3 fouls. Northwestern trying to make this a one-possession game. They have never led. McIntosh short on the high arcer. Offensive rebound, though, by Lumpkin.
Looks like McIntosh wants to go one-on-one.
And he did, but he couldn't get it to drop over Matt Van Dyke.
He liked that matchup.
Winston gets to a foul.
I'm telling you what, this guy is way beyond his years. He saw Benson, he jumped right into him to draw the contact. Watch, jumps right into him, takes the contact, moves the ball away, fingertip flip off glass. Man, that's old school basketball right there.
I think there was a dash of Michael Jordan in that. With a no look, just flip it up, watch it go down.
I'm not ready to give him that yet, but I like it, Brandon.
I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan.
I know, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I wish the folks at home could have seen the look you gave me, though, when I mentioned them in the same breath. I thought my broadcasting days were over.
Oh, my goodness.
Law short from the elbow. Now the other way, Matt McQuaid.
Quaid knowing Skelly cannot foul.
Well, McQuaid's fired up. He's not known as an emotional guy. There's Bridges jumping around. He's saying that ankle's okay. Nice slip.
Great recognition that time by Northwestern. They lift the offside, so there's no help defenders in the paint.
Lumpkin almost got a turnover to go the other way, but instead a kick.
You know, the pace is quickened on both ends of the floor. You see now, McQuaid getting that layup and getting fired up, getting the crowd back into it as well.
We did have 20 fouls in the first half. We'll see if we can get a little bit more flow here in the second. Inside to Ward. Double team comes. And a tie-up. Nice help side by McIntosh digging down deep.
You see McIntosh just sit in the lap of Nick Ward, puts his head right on the basketball. Very good help defensively, knowing that Skelly is really in a compromising position right there.
It's a big article in the Detroit Free Press about Nick Ward becoming more comfortable handling those double teams. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Northwestern and company, they're going to have to do that without Miles Bridges because Ward's going to be such a centerpiece.
He is, and he can draw that double team to get open offense for his teammates. But in Big Ten play, these guys are a lot stronger on that double team. It's tougher to throw out of.
NBA range, no good for Winston straight on. Into the shot clock, he had to take it, and it will go to Northwestern.
Well, Northwestern in really good position here. They can score on this possession. They put a little bit more pressure on the younger Spartans.
McIntosh, baseline drive. What a finish. Through the contact, whistle the foul on Winston, and the bucket for Bryant McIntosh, the junior.
See, if you don't think that upperclassmen see Cassius Winston as a threat, they're going to go at him. Bryant McIntosh, I know you're good, young fella, but so am I.
Maybe he heard my Michael Jordan reference. Wanted to take it right at the Hall of Famer.
Maybe right.
McIntosh completes a three-point play. Right back down to 4. We got a ball game in East Lansing. McQuaid inside to Arms. Yes! And someone in the post just picked up their 4th foul. That's on Skelly.
And that's, you know, right there. Great pass by McQuaid. Arns doing a good job of going right through the contact. Skelly thinking that he's building a wall, but again, I know it's tough because it was when I was playing college basketball. When you're in foul trouble, you got to let something go. If you want to stay on the floor and help your team, the 2 points aren't going to hurt you as much as another foul will.
Free throw good for Kyle Arns as Skelly goes back to the bench for Chris Collins. Scotty Lindsey going to work. Almost got that to drop. Winston pushing the tempo. That's his shot. But McQuaid can't knock it down. Over 75% of Matt McQuaid's shots have been from downtown this year. On the other end, McIntosh with a dribble. Speaking of three-point shooters, Taphorn has won. This time a foul before he can do anything with a basketball against Michigan State.
Well, we've got a glimpse of what the game is coming to right now. And you've really got guards and small forwards on the floor. No really post players or bigs at all. And I know they have Goins inside, and at 6'6", he plays a post position, but so this is a much smaller, quicker game that we're seeing right now due to the foul trouble of both teams' post position.
And sometimes when a team like Northwestern goes smaller because of foul trouble, that can create matchups. If you got a true 5 in there like Ward, try to guard a quicker guy on the perimeter. As that is picked up by Tum Tum there.
Good move by McIntosh right there. I thought he was going to get that underhand flip to go. I like the aggressiveness.
Cassius Winston, he got bumped as well. Count it.
Boy, he is so smooth. You saw how he bumped McIntosh, gathers himself, goes to the left, floater in the paint. Young Cassius Winston looking like a young Cassius Clay.
He has 13. These two teams know that it's early, but a lot's on the line. The Spartans have led since the opening tip. Right now it's at 9. It's been as many as 19 in the first half, and Cassius Winston leads all scorers with a baker's dozen.
He's doing a great job with the efficiency. 5 of 6 from the field, 4 assists and only 1 turnover. So he's able to kind of set the table, still look for his shot, but get his teammates going as well. That's a rare combination in such a young point guard.
He got a taste of road play in the Big Ten at Minnesota, fouled out 20 minutes. He did have 6 assists, but just 2 points, never really got going.
Yeah, it's, you know, when you're a young guy coming through the first time in the Big Ten, you can't imagine how good all these guys are. And Nate Mason is one of the premier point guards in this conference.
Vic Law wanted to take advantage of Harris on him in the post, but couldn't get the hook shot to drop. Spartans looking to push it back to a double-digit lead. Winston, mid-range jumper. Front iron into the hands of Vic Law.
That might be Vic Law's most improved part of his game. Crashing the glass, does a great job. Had 12 in the win at Penn State.
Yeah, you're right. That was just his second career double-double. 12 and 12 in that win over the Nittany Lions. Baseball pass across to the freshman. And unable to knock it down, Isaiah Brown, but offensive rebound for Lumpkin.
Boy, we watched the flight of that. That looked dead on, just a little bit long. The 3 ball's been kind of Northwestern getting back into this game.
Deep touch for Law, and he lays it in. Well, he likes that matchup in the post against Aaron Harris, apparently.
Yeah, set play to get Vic Law right into the post area.
And Chris Collins just got teed up on the Northwestern bench. And he's saying for what? And actually, they just clarified it's a warning. He did not get a technical, but they did give him a warning, and they corrected that on the PA. Alvin Ellis gives it up top to Harris.
Well, Sanjay Lumpkin now doing a great job defensively on Ward.
8 turnovers for Michigan State now.
That might play into the hands of Northwestern because Sanjay's so strong and quick.
Brown lost it going up against the taller Ward. Quick outlet. Now Michigan State will settle in the half court. And the shot clock was staying on 30. Official Bo Borowski realized it, so he blows his whistle to correct it. Tom Izzo, who will turn 62 on January 30th. Probably a tougher start. I mean, he's been through a lot of battles. He's seen a lot of different teams, but usually 8-5, what they were going into Big Ten play, that's not what Tom Izzo's used to.
No, it's not. And they took their lumps, and they typically annually play one of the tougher non-conference slates in the country because it's a proven system that he's got. And it looked as though these guys, you know, when they were beat at home, it looks like they're doing the clock there, but they were beaten at home early. And Northeastern came in here and really played well and beat them. And there was a lot of question marks, but all of a sudden when Big Ten Conference play starts, Tom Izzo's a Hall of Fame coach for a reason. He knows how to get his guys ready when it matters most.
So you're looking at what they're trying to adjust the shot clock to because inside the arena it stayed on 30. So wherever Bo Borowski blew his whistle, that's where they will adjust it to here in a moment.
That was the play preceding that. Oh, I see. Stuck for quite a while there.
Yeah, it got stuck on that possession and never started after Michigan State got it back.
It's going to be quite a bit of time here. This is where these guys are some of the best in the business. They'll get it right.
But getting back to Michigan State in their early slate, you're right. They played Arizona, Kentucky, Duke, Baylor, all losses, but very good competition. Now, we talked about it, when you get Miles Bridges back, you get Ward continuing to develop and Winston, this can still be a very dangerous Michigan State team.
Oh, sure. And then, you know, you still have Tum Nairn, one of the best leaders that we see in the Big Ten Conference. Ward is becoming better every day. Alvin Ellis has now almost usurped Aaron Harris at the 2-guard position, it seems like, in terms of his scoring and his confidence. So now all of a sudden, a team that was depleted with injuries with Gavin Schilling and Davis out, now, you know, you've got depth.
Coming up next, the country's best wrestlers converge for a star-studded lineup of matches. Don't miss coverage of the historic Midlands Wrestling Championships presented by Cliff Keen Athletic tonight at 8 Eastern on BTN and BTN to go. Maybe a teaching moment there. Tom Izzo with his young freshman guard, Cassius Winston.
Well, the thing is, Cassius Winston wants to be great. And he's got quite an example ahead of him, Tum Tum Nairn. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see somebody that wakes up positive and energetic every single day, that man right there, Tum Tum Nairn, is a rare college athlete. I've been around this game a long time. I'm not sure I've seen one quite like him.
Well, I've had the privilege of calling their past 4 games. You've been here for 3 of those with me, and when he comes into shoot around, he starts it by just screaming and yelling, getting everybody fired up around him.
Yep. And he understands the opportunity to play at this level, and he's grateful every day, and it's infectious for this program.
And the coaches told us he's a yes sir, no sir guy, watching tape, staying in the gym. What do you need from me? How can I do better? That's a coach's dream.
No doubt about it.
So they moved the clock to 13:41 after all that. Good job of the officials by noticing the error and correcting it. Now Aaron Harris driving inside. Nice move, but couldn't finish. Isaiah Brown, fearless. Going 1-on-2, and he got bailed out. He's going to the line.
It bailed out is exactly right. He was out of control, and what happens is, this is a young man that is an all-time leading scorer from his high school in Seattle, and all he knows is to put his head down and go. A lot of ball right there as well, so Isaiah Brown, fortunate he got the call in that situation.
Foul will go on Tum Tum Nairn, his first. They were telling us that, though. They said he knows one speed from his high school days, and that is go. They're trying to get him to select his shots a little bit better.
It sounds like Purdue head coach Matt Painter talking about his guard, Carson Edwards. Say he needs a little moon with that sun. I love that phrase.
Maybe that's what Chris Collins is hoping for from Isaiah Brown, and this is a foul against the Spartans. On Nick Ward, his third.
So we were concerned about Northwestern defensively against Nick Ward with the foul trouble of Vincent and Schilling. But right here, when you have Nathan Taphorn and you got Sanjay Lumpkin, those guys are quicker. And that bothers bigs a lot because they can't feel you where you are.
And was that foul because of the right arm reach around the body?
Yep, and he couldn't feel Taphorn, so he had to reach around and grab and feel for him.
Out of bounds, back to Michigan State.
25 points for the Spartans. Chips in for Nick Ward.
And Ward will take a seat.
And Chris Collins really applauding Taphorn for that attempt. Telling him that was a good shot, trying to keep his confidence up. That was a big possession. He hits that, it's a 3-point game.
Northwestern's made 15 shots in this game, 7 of them 3-pointers. Taphorn's hit a couple, couldn't get that last one to drop. Now the Spartans on the offensive end with his 6-point lead. Off the heel for Tum Tum Nairn, and what a rebound indeed by Vic Law. You said it earlier, that's the part of his game that's improved.
Man, I mean, he's going out of his position to go get tough defensive rebounds. I mean, and they need him to with their bigs on the bench.
Law has 7 caroms in this game. And now he's got the basketball in the wing. Cutting to the rim against Dallas and finishing with a left.
That's a grown man move right there. Putting Ellis on his hip and telling him, I'm going to take you to the hole with me, young fella. Good move, Vic Law.
And here we go as we approach 12 minutes. It's just 4 points right now.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this team, Northwestern, 2 plays away from being undefeated.
A close loss to both Butler and Notre Dame, and a nice tap back by Aaron Harris. You're right, partner, though. A 2-point loss at Butler, top 15 team in the country, and then a nearly last-second loss to Notre Dame.
Yep, and I mean, those are quality big losses in terms of strength of schedule.
McIntosh, one of the top assist men in the Big Ten, with a great bounce dime to Sanjay Lumpkin.
See, this Northwestern team, they're not going anywhere. They're just going to keep playing. A lot of teams take on the persona of their head coach. That's what Chris Collins used to do at Duke. Just kept coming at you.
Played there and then 13 seasons on the bench as well under Coach K. And a basket here will make it a one-possession game.
Well, I'd look for Scotty Lindsey right now. He's been quiet lately. I try to get him in some space.
He was getting ready to fire a shot, but a foul stopped him.
Well, young players, you don't always have to score the basketball. You could go get big-time rebounds like that, and then your offense comes too.
My favorite road arena would have to be Michigan State. I love that gym. It's something about the rims and the net, and you hear that ball go through, and their student section's fun. They're a good student section, and they're always into the game, and they know what they're doing. They know the game of basketball, and I think that's kind of what makes it special.
But Junior McIntosh just 2 of 8 from the floor, but he's doing his thing distributing again tonight.
And that's a tough play to make, going full speed, one hand, bounce pass, hit Lumpkin right where he needed it. Ryan McIntosh, see the career numbers there. He's going to blow both Pat Baldwin, assistant coach Pat Baldwin, and Michael Thompson out of the books.
He had 213 last year, did McIntosh in the assist department, by far the most in a single season for Northwestern. Ellis with a block. He'll bring it the other way. Kick it out to Winston. He thought about triggering it, but did not.
I like that decision. He had a 6'7" tap horn flying at him. That would have been a difficult release.
Winston has 13. Ellis, who just passed it to him, has 11 to lead the Spartans. Shot clock dwindling. Great dish. Goins, no. They wanted basket interference. And Goins can't get it a second time either.
Wow, what a break for Northwestern. They could have very easily called that basket interference.
The rim was definitely shaking. No call. It's still a 4-point game. Scotty Lindsey. Over to Lumpkin, who gives to McIntosh. He'll fire. Little strong, long rebound on Lumpkin. And he's held.
Let's take a look at this, Brandon. I think right there, see Vic Law grab the rim. And right there, that's basket interference. So Northwestern got away with one there. But you know what? When you play hard, good things happen to you as a team, and Northwestern has finally matched the intensity of the Spartans.
And if you're just joining us, Michigan State led by 19 with 7 minutes left in the first half. But Northwestern, they have weathered the storm. Isaiah Brown off the bounce, had it taken away. Ellis poked it loose, and Ward dives on it.
Isaiah Brown, once again, going to what he knows best, to put his head down and get to the rim. But these openings at this level, they close up so quickly. He's got to learn that. It's a key situation right here.
Alvin Ellis showing a little defense, had a block a couple possessions ago. Now his second steal. Ward, double team comes. Just 3 to shoot. Winston sees the shot clock. Oh, he tried to pass it at the last second, but couldn't curl it around.
Good help side defense. Sanjay Lumpkin comes over and closes the passing lane down. So consecutive turnovers by the freshman point guards on the floor.
Cassius Winston 4 assists now, two turnovers, and each team with 10 collectively. Scotty Lindsey didn't even draw iron, and a strong rebound inside by number 44. Winston to McQuaid. Langford tracks it down, and they'll reset. McQuaid tried to find Ward inside, but good defense by Gavin Skelly to knock it out.
Well, Skelly was running, trying to close out, and got his hands on the pass. That's unusual for a big to be able to make that play defensively.
Remember, Skelly playing with 4 fouls. Picked up 3 in the first half. Did the 6'8" junior from Westlake, Ohio. Crowd wanted a 5th foul on Skelly there as he was tangled with Ward for a second, but no whistle. 8 minutes to play in East Lansing. McQuaid needs help, but he finds Winston out top. Late in the shot clock once again. Tap back right to Winston, out to Ellis. And a whistle out high. A holding foul going to be called against the Wildcats. A battle in just game 2 of the Big Ten Conference. Tom Izzo, Chris Collins, both trying to get to 2-0 in league play.
With the Twin Towers of Biggie and Big Haas on the front line, but Purdue might be playing as well as anybody in the Big Ten right now.
And Minnesota might be a little angry after that overtime loss they had to Michigan State on Tuesday. That was in overtime, 75-74, a thrilling finish, and we are set for a good finish here, but we haven't had a field goal in this game since the 11:29 mark.
Grounded to a halt, both teams struggling to find an edge.
That changes right there thanks to Alvin Ellis.
He's had a couple of those go tonight where he just gets in the paint, just those shoulders on his defender, and is able to get it off the glass.
So he had 20 points against Minnesota, now 13 tonight for Ellis. Lumpkin, no from deep. He hit one earlier, but maybe that's not Sanjay Lumpkin's shot.
Well, you know, he's got to take it, though. You got to keep the defense honest, and it was a good look. He's just not a confident shooter.
Michigan State has not hit a 3-pointer in the second half after going 4 of 11 in the first half. Northwestern 7 of 17 from long range.
Talk about Michigan State struggling from outside. You know, they have 19-2 advantage, fast break. But a lot of that was in the first half.
Foul in the post on Northwestern against Sanjay Lumpkin, his 3rd.
Wildcats foul for 34 to Lumpkin, his 3rd.
Lumpkin doing what he can in terms of trying to be quicker than Ward and trying to displace him.
And that is going to be a 2-shot foul. They say Ward was starting to go up. McIntosh picking up his 3rd personal. Get another look.
Big man he just commands so much attention. He knows how to sit down, post, spread out. Very difficult to get around Nick Ward.
The veteran McIntosh trying to get a jump ball out of that.
Of course.
I don't think that was going to work. He did get one earlier when he doubled down in the post, but not there. And an Achilles heel of Nick Ward's game is the charity stripe. He's just 47 and 91 there this season.
A good follow through on that one.
Now he's 48 and 92, right around 50%. And the noise increasing in the Breslin Center. McIntosh partially blocked. And then a travel on McQuaid. He can't believe the call. Tom Izzo can't either. And Northwestern lucky because had that not been a travel, it was going to be a wide open dunk.
Yeah, you see, McQuaid, I thought he was, oh, that's a good call. That's a good call. Took 2 steps before he was able to put the ball down. I know the fans don't like it, but we had the benefit of instant replay.
Scotty Lindsey short. Had an open look. Lindsey 9 points, but he's just 3 of 10 from the field. And that's the 5th foul on Gavin Skelly. As the physical post play continues, Skelly is just fouled out.
That's a tough break for Northwestern. Skelly's he's laying on him though. I think it's a pretty good call. Watch here where Skelly tries to put his whole body right there. You just can't lean in like that. I know his hands were up, but he's encroaching on the space that Nick Ward is allowed to have in the post area. Tough night for Gavin.
Tough indeed. So he did not score. Fouled out in their 9-game win streak that they're on. Skelly averaging 11.7 points and 5.5 rebounds a game.
Yes, that's a tough loss. It looks like Chris Collins is not comfortable bringing Benson back in the game, so they're going to stay small with Taphorn and Sanjay Lumpkin guarding the post.
Is that more because Benson is a freshman on the road, or is that maybe just matchups for Coach Collins?
I think it's a little bit of both. You know, you've got Benson, who hasn't played in a while, and it's really tight time right now. And you don't want to put him in a compromising position. You still want to save him unless, you know, if you really need to get him back in the game. Sanjay Lumpkin, Taphorn doing a pretty good job on Nick Ward.
Well, all else fails, bank it in.
Miles Bridges loves that.
Those two, both freshmen, good buddies. 53-44 Michigan State. They're trying to expand this back out. Vic Law trying to change that. Ward says, no, sir. Leads to a 2-on-1. And now the other direction for Northwestern.
Vic Law needs to dunk that next time. He's got the ability to get to the rim and turn it over. You got Nick Ward hanging around the basket. You got to punch it on the big fella. Great play, though, by the freshman defensively.
Scotty Lindsey got bumped. Bonus shooting the rest of the way for both teams.
Hard falls on Cassius Winston, his second foul. And team set.
Scotty Lindsey not finding the bottom of the bucket as often as he did at Penn State.
Yeah, he's 3 of 10 tonight. He's had double figures in all 14 contests for Northwestern. And if he hits this free throw, it'll be 15 straight double-figure games. And he does just that. Northwestern continues to hang around, but they have never led in this game.
Michigan State responded well. Northwestern's gotten close. And Michigan State went on a little bit of a drought, but they turned some defense into some easy opportunities on the offensive end.
Scotty Lindsey last year just 197 points. And this season after that free throw, 236. I think that's what you call a breakout year.
A definite breakout year. You know, he's not having the success that he had last game that we just showed, but still, he's a guy that you have to pay attention to, and he can go get you a bucket when all else breaks down.
Those were the first points for Northwestern in almost 6 minutes of the game clock. Inside out, Winston. Right hand, left side of the rim, no problem.
I'm gonna go old school, old school. That's a little Earl to Pearl Monroe right there. Back over the right shoulder with the English off the glass.
You've given him a lot of compliments tonight.
I'm telling you, he's got game.
And Winston has 15 points. His young season and career high 21, by the way. McIntosh will pull. Can't get it. And a pass too high for Matt McQuaid to handle.
Well, right here, look at this move right there. Over the shoulder, around Taphorn with some reverse English on it. Go ahead, young fella. I see you.
That is deserving of being tonight's Motorist Insurance Group drive to the hoop, no doubt. But then the pass, Tom Izzo got angry, put him right on the bench.
Oh, yeah, these are learning tools. And he, you know, you got to take some of that when you have talented uber freshmen like that.
Vic Law trying to go to work against Langford, and that's the third foul on the freshman.
Spark fouls on one, Joshua Langford. That's his third.
I mean, Tom Izzo is going at Cassius Winston and getting him right back into the game. That's a great move in terms of getting the guy's confidence.
Back in the one. Replacing Marco Mayer.
Putting them right back in the game.
Northwestern back to the line, but they have not had a field goal since 11:29 was on the clock. 4:20 right now. Coming up next, the country's best wrestlers converging for a star-studded lineup of matches. Don't miss coverage of the historic Midlands Wrestling Championships presented by Cliff Keen Athletic. 8 Eastern after our game on BTN and BTN to go. Vic Law, 65% shooter, drops them both.
Right now, if you're looking on the floor at Michigan State, who's going to score? Langford really hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities, only 3 field goal attempts. And so you're looking at Winston or Alvin Ellis at this point.
It's hard to believe that Northwestern hasn't had a field goal in over 7 minutes yet. Here they are. They're within striking distance. That doesn't help their cause. Goins to the basket on a nice dish from Cassius Winston.
Boy, Cassius Winston drawing the double team, has the sight to get the ball in the pocket pass. Goins doing the rest.
The Wildcats trying to work their way out of this funk. Lindsey lost him. Langford had it tapped out from behind, and it goes out of bounds.
Out of bounds, Michigan State. And there's a timeout.
Northwestern trying to hang tough. Michigan State hoping to pull away to go 2-0 in Big Ten action. Michigan State has had the lead from the opening tip. Right now it's 9. 57-48 is the advantage. Courtside here at the Breslin Center. Hello, everybody. Brandon Gaudin with Stephen Bardo. Northwestern was down 19, started to make a push, but credit Michigan State. They've weathered that storm.
They really have, because they've suffered foul trouble as well to Nick Ward, and yet Cassius Winston has been excellent in the second half in terms of setting the table, looking for his shots, but also getting his teammates involved as well.
A drought right now for Northwestern. Scotty Lindsey had it going early, 11 points, 3 of 6 from long range, but he's calmed down. Heck of a game from Vic Law, but no field goals since over 11 minutes for Northwestern. And obviously that has to change real quickly.
Yeah, and I think what we're seeing from Northwestern, they're trying to go too much one-on-one right now. Michigan State too good defensively to allow you to turn twice and try to get in the lane. These guys are too strong.
Vic Law coming off his second career double-double, 2 rebounds away from a third. But he's not worried about that right now. He's worried about his team being down 9. The Spartans with the basketball here at home. Let's see what Tom Izzo drew up out of the timeout. Cassius Winston resets. Penetrates. To Ellis. No, little strong. Rebound to Sanjay Lumpkin.
Solid defensive possession by Northwestern. Cleaned up the defensive rebound. See if they can convert on this end. They've got plenty of time, but they want to carve into this lead. But psychologically, they have not led yet.
Law is going to go back to the line as Ellis bumped right into him.
This is the best case scenario for Northwestern. Able to score with no time going off the clock. If Law can get these to drop, they can get back set up defensively. So this is a good exchange if they can convert.
Chris Collins and Northwestern on a 9-game win streak right now. 12-2. That on the heels of winning 20 regular season games last year, the most in program history. But Law cannot hit the front end.
Well, that's got to hurt. Front end, got to get at least one of those, Brandon. On the road, you're clawing, trying, you're moving uphill. That takes a lot of wind out of your sails.
Law 3 of 6 from the line now tonight. 2:30 left to play. Cassius Winston inside to Goins. He had it blocked by Taphorn, but he got it back.
Boy, Tap showing some hops.
They reset the shot clock, but I don't know that they should have. That never hit the rim, did it?
I didn't see it hit the rim, and the Northwestern bench asking the same question right now.
Well, I think it might have nicked the rim. 2 minutes left to play, 7 to shoot. Cassius Winston A drive and a dish to Langford. He's got to put it up. Long rebound, and we have a whistle. And a jersey hold against Northwestern's Vic Law.
Northwestern foul on 34.
Let's get another look at that. It did indeed hit the rim.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sitting over here.
You and I both.
And I don't have the zebras on.
That's a heck of a block, though, by Taphorn.
And correction, the foul was on McIntosh, number 30, not Vic Law. McIntosh just picked up his fourth.
I've really been impressed with Michigan State here down the stretch. Northwestern's been struggling, but a lot of that is due to the defense of the Spartans. I mean, it got within, I believe, 5 points, and all of a sudden, the Spartans tighten up defensively.
McQuaid left it short. So the Spartans trying to pull away. Northwestern just 6 of 23 this half, trying to hang top.
You don't need a three here. You can get to the rim and put some pressure on the defense.
McIntosh looking to do just that.
He goes to his left and shoots with his right at the rim as well as any guard in this league.
Chris Collins takes the timeout. He's fired up. His team back within 7, 1:28 to play. Cassius Winston's been pretty darn good tonight, hasn't he?
He really has. Taken advantage of the foot speed advantage right there against Skelly. And then the drive, draws the defense. That was the prettiest shot of the game, in my opinion. And then getting McIntosh off balance. That's a rookie schooling the veteran there.
He is our Quicken Loans amazing performance tonight. Cassius Winston, 15 points, 6 assists, and those 6 assists right at his season average, which leads the Big Ten Conference. Don't forget, coming up next, country's best wrestlers converging a star-studded lineup of matches. Historic Midlands Wrestling Championships when we are done here on BTN and BTN to go.
First time we're seeing some full court pressure by Northwestern.
And it forces a turnover, a travel. They say Winston dragged his foot. 13 turnovers now on Michigan State. That's the 3rd on Winston.
Well, Michigan State can't leave their point guard, Cassius Winston, in the backcourt by himself. Still don't need a three here.
McIntosh driving again. That time he hits the underside of the rim. Wanted a foul, didn't get the whistle. Ellis coming back to help Nairn, and Michigan State does get it across. Do you play this straight up if you're Northwestern?
Yeah, at this point, I think you do.
Ellis out to McQuaid. And that's exactly what you did not want. You put a good foul shooter on the line after 20 seconds go off the shot clock.
Yeah, and there was nowhere McQuaid was going, really. He's just trying to avoid the pressure. Sanjay Lumpkin, I'd be a little smarter in that situation.
4 personals on the redshirt senior, Sanjay Lumpkin, as McQuaid, the sophomore from Duncanville, Texas, steps to the line. He had his career high last year against Northwestern, 17. In this game, just 2, now 3 points.
We have to remind our viewers, Northwestern coming in on a 9-game winning streak, longest in the Big Ten. They average 77 points a game. They're at 50 right now.
In and out on the second one for McQuaid. Northwestern, let's see if they have one final jump in them. McIntosh, no from the elbow. Michigan State with a rebound in the hands of Ellis. And he is fouled, and things starting to look more bleak for the Wildcats. Miles Bridges being a cheerleader on the sideline.
Yeah, he's loving it, too. Not so much for Northwestern, but it's a pretty impressive victory. You know, you never want to doubt Tom Izzo. I don't care what his teams look like. It's just something about getting them ready. Once conference play, they're a different team. And defensively, they were outstanding here this evening.
Just saw the winning streak.
Number 12,
You mentioned 9 games for Northwestern. Right now you can see the beginning of that Midlands Wrestling Championship on BT and to go, and we will get you there as soon as we are done here. Sanjay Lumpkin just fouled out. He joins Gavin Skelly on the bench, both with 5 personals. Alvin Ellis misses that off to the left. And there they are sitting next to each other.
This is something Michigan State has to shore up their free throw shooting, because these games typically in the Big Ten Conference, a lot of them are 5 to 6 point affairs, and if you can't convert at the line, that can come back and get you.
Michigan State 13 to 20 in this game, but partner just 60% on the season, last in the conference. Lindsey unable to get it to go, and now a game a keep away for Michigan State. And they can start to smell it here at Breslin. And the foul-out party continues as the Izzone waves goodbye to Bryant McIntosh.
23, Jordan Ash.
Northwestern can thank their icy cold start for this outcome in this game. I mean, they looked like they were deer in headlights, but once they woke up, they've played Michigan State fairly even from that point.
All in all, decent start to conference play with what is coming up. You look, they had it at Minnesota, then home against Northwestern, Rutgers, and Penn State. I mean, if they win those next 2, I don't know where Bridges comes back into the party, but if they get to 3 or 4-0 without him, and then they get him back in the lineup, that could be a dangerous team.
Very dangerous team.
So a quick timeout. Michigan State trying to close it out strong. 11-point Michigan State lead, and Chris Collins, that's what he and the Wildcats have coming up.
Well, 4 of their first 5 on the road. First time since 1956 for Northwestern, so coming out of the gate, very difficult slate here. This one would have been a good one to get in terms of their confidence.
They let Brown go. He lays it in. Midlands Wrestling Championships again coming up next after us. And the Wildcats are going to call the dogs off. And Michigan State can dribble out a 61-52 win. Not the prettiest of things at times, but 2-0 in conference play.
2-0, a great win on the road in Minnesota and coming back home and taking care of business. Great defensive effort.
Stay tuned. The Midlands Wrestling Championships coming up. This has been an exclusive presentation of the Big Ten Network for Stephen Bardo. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Let's join Tim Johnson, Jim Gibbons, Shane Sparks in Evanston.